Hello, today I'd like to talk to you about a rather interesting feature on this analog clamp meter here. Now just as a quick refresher, the way clamp meters work is you put them around a conductor, like so, and the current flowing through the conductor induces a current in the core here that goes to the transformer and then onto the main display. So if I turn on my dummy load here, we can see the current shoot up to, I don't know what's that, 10 amps or something. And well, that's how those things work. Now, one thing about clamp meters, and virtually all modern clamp meters have that, is you want some sort of hold function, because normally you don't have cables as easily accessible as this one here. You might be working on some installation where you need to get around a really thick wire somewhere and you can't actually see the meter or the display on a digital one. So what you want is you want to be able to clamp your meter around the wire and then push a hold button or something that then keeps the reading on the meter until you reset that. Now, as I said, all modern, or virtually all modern clamp meters have that feature because it's quite trivial to implement in a digital one. But interestingly, this analog meter also has a hold function. So if I put that around the wire here and I turn on the load, you can see the current jumps up. And then if I slide this little switch over and I turn off the load and remove the meter, you can see the needle is still at the same reading on the scale, and I can read that. And if I slide the lever back, the reading goes back to 0 and I can measure a different current. Now the interesting thing is that this is implemented just mechanically, so there's no electronics inside, and the way it works is, I think, really clever but also really simple. All that's happening is that you've got this little lever here, and all that does is it pushes the scale of the meter against the needle, and obviously the restoring spring and also the magnetic force due to the current is very weak. So the little bit of friction of the scale pushing against the needle is just enough to hold it in place and give you your hold function. And I think that's a really neat and clever little design. Now, I did some Googling, and it's not super commonly used, but it has been used a lot in things where you wouldn't actually see the scales. So clamp meters and also photographic light meters, those kind of things where you hold your meter somewhere but you need to read it afterwards. So those kind of things actually did use very similar schemes. I've never seen that before, but it's a really interesting and clever little design, I think. So yeah, it just shows you that you don't always have to have electronics and a microcontroller or op-amps or whatever to implement a certain function. So yeah, interesting, I think. So yeah, I hope you like this, and hope to see you again soon.